Oh boy, what is going on, everybody? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to more esports talk. A very short episode, but a happy episode for a few of you fans out there. What might not be so happy for OpTic fans, of course, if you guys do remember the Immortals purchase of Infinite Entertainment included the OpTic Gaming brand, and with that, a lot of their subsidiary teams out there, one of which was the Houston Outlaws. We touched on this, I think it was probably at least a month or so ago. Immortals, they were in trouble following this acquisition because they had acquired so many teams, which were conflicts of interest because they already had teams themselves with their MIBR and Immortals brand, and so of course you can't own two teams in the same esport, and they seem to be pretty much struggling when it came to selling a few of their teams out there. The CSGO roster, which is now in a weird slump over there. If you guys are not aware of the CSGO scene with Immortals Gaming Club, they already have the Brazilian roster known as MIBR. Currently right now, I believe they were only able to sell possibly one of those players from that former CSGO roster. That's going to be Config. They still currently, though, I do believe have two other players who are remaining kind of trapped underneath the umbrella. With that acquisition, though, of course, they did get their League of Legends spot for the LCS. Huge congratulations. Probably a big chunk of the value there. The second chunk of value certainly came from this Overwatch spot with the Houston Outlaws. MIBR or Immortals, they already own the LA Valiant, thus had to sell the Houston Outlaws, and it certainly took some time. They have now, though, as of this morning, officially been sold to the Beasley Media Group, the same company who, by the way, is invested into Renegades. For all you CSGO fans out there, for Renegades, you realize that lately you actually lost your current CSGO roster to 100 Thieves. They still will be signing another CSGO roster apparently, and now the same parent company has a actual Overwatch League spot. So Renegades, out of nowhere, actually grabbing some good terrain here in the esports scene, and with that same company, though, Beasley Media Group, an undisclosed amount was paid for the team, which, God dang it, I think we were all curious how much was paid. Because especially, I think at least I was curious, I know a few people out there as well, we knew that Echo Fox has now sold their LCS spot for just over $30 million to Evil Geniuses, and with that, people were very curious, when it comes time to comparing franchise spots. We know Call of Duty, 25 plus million. We know League of Legends, as of right now, valuations are right around $30 plus million. And so I think a lot of people out there were curious with this sale where Overwatch League spot prices would fall, because historically speaking, over the past year or so, they were the highest priced spots at rumors of $40 to $60 million. And now we just don't get to know, and I really would like to know which spot is worth the most. I have to assume it's probably at least in the $30 million range, if not more than that, but with how long it did take to sell, and again, this was a conflict of interest, and so they had to sell it no matter what, although you got to probably take the other part of this, that there are many companies out there wanting to enter the Overwatch League. Beasley Media Group obviously had the highest bid or the best bid, and has now been taken for an undisclosed amount. Now, speaking lastly of which, this Beasley Media Group, they also apparently have an esports news show that I didn't know about, apparently covering 24/7 esports news known as Checkpoint XP. And so this is the way that Beasley Media Group is trying to expand themselves into esports. They're doing esports news. What's up? Shout out. They're also doing, though, a lot of things with Renegades, and I think they actually now currently have 5 teams in esports. And so this is very curious, very good timing for Immortals to get rid of some of these assets, and it does beg the question. I want to know, if you guys want this, maybe drop a like or a comment down below, because either way, I'm probably going to make this, I think, a very fun video out there. Is the question, is Immortals Gaming Club purchase of OpTic Gaming brand and whatever their subsidiaries were, yes, they purchased Infinite Entertainment, but mainly because of the OpTic Gaming brand and those current rosters, was that purchase for $100 million? Was it worth it? You guys can leave your thoughts down below. They acquired several rosters with that acquisition. They still had to pay, though, some hefty fees out there. The 25 plus million for Call of Duty. Along with that, yes, they get to sell maybe the Gears team, maybe the Overwatch team. Yes, they sold. They acquired the LCS spot. There's a lot of money floating around in this transaction of $100 million plus. So was it worth it? I'd love to break it down in my head, my opinion of that. And very lastly, and probably sadly enough, guys, this does in fact mean, now I know a lot of you guys probably do not know who I'm talking about, Lee Zybin, the guy who took to Twitter about 2 months ago to try and purchase an Overwatch League spot and a potential Call of Duty League spot. I was very hyped up in the fact that some guy out there could actually take to Twitter to try and ask investors for funding to do so. It seems that's not going to happen, because he was rumored to actually be buying the Houston Outlaws and a Call of Duty spot. Houston Outlaws is now off the table. It seems he probably only wanted both those spots, and maybe he was a fraud all along. We'll find out if he does come back in the future, but it seems that the Lee Zybin dreams of mine are now now done, guys. Either way, though, great news for Immortals and their funding over there, because they now have another nice check coming back from them after that purchase of OpTic Gaming. They have now sold OpTic's former Houston Outlaws for an undisclosed amount. As always, I hope you guys all enjoy breaking down esports and gaming news here all day long. I got so many stories. Thanks to all of you guys who leave comments and DMs me all these stories as well to cover. I'll be back here all day long, guys, all weekend long. Until next time, take care. Drink coffee. Ta-ta.